Last week, we talked about why expecting support in your business is slowly destroying your momentum. But I didn't want to leave you hanging there. Now that you know what not to do, I want to show you how to build a business that your clients feel was custom made for them. After last week, if you were questioning, okay, well, if it isn't about support, then what is it about? Then you are in the right place. In this episode, we are talking all about how to build for your customer instead of just building for yourself. Today, I'm going to give you 3 strategic ways to center your coaching business around your clients instead of yourself. These 3 strategies is what creates repeat customers, premium prices, and a business that impacts legacy. So the first strategy is when you are building out your products for your coaching business, focus on solving your clients' problems instead of yours. A lot of us make the mistake of going into business wanting to sell what we want to sell. And when we have our mind set up on something, we develop a mentality of just expecting people to buy it. We don't test it out to ensure that it's effective. We don't do market research to even look and see if it's needed or why it's needed. We just feel like because this is something that we want to sell, it would make us feel better to say that this is our product. We push it out and we expect people to buy. Now, the reason why this is wrong is because it puts you into that mentality of expecting people to support your business. It makes you that type of person where you're like, hey, I have this business, I put out this product, just come and give me your money and support me and support what I'm trying to do. But remember, like we said yesterday, your business and your products is not about you. Your business and your products is about providing value to your clients. The goal in your business is not to force problems on your client. You want to actually listen to what your client says and listen to what your client needs. When you listen to your client's needs, then you can ensure that your product is something that your client desires and something that your client values. And this does not mean that you have to switch industries altogether. This does not mean that if you are a business coach, you have to switch and become a relationship coach. What it does mean is that you can switch and tweak the things that you are teaching to ensure that the people in your industry are getting the things that they actually desire and value. So for example, let's say that you are a marketing coach and you want to do a coaching program where you teach people how to set up Facebook ads. So you start marketing to people and you keep coming across clients where it's like they know how to set up Facebook ads. They're not really interested in purchasing a product that teaches how to set it up, but they're frustrated because they feel like they keep wasting all of this money on ads and they're not getting a return. So instead of just trying to force them to buy your product, even though it's not something that they need, you actually listen to them and you observe their strategy of what they're doing. Now, after you observe it, you realize that the reason why they're not seeing a big return on their ads is because their messaging is off and their graphics are very unappealing. This will cause you to shift what you are teaching in your program to cater to your clients' needs. So instead of teaching them how to set up a Facebook ad, you will teach them how to create messaging in their Facebook ad that will draw people in and make them feel like this ad was specifically for them, and how to create graphics that will make someone want to stop what they're doing, stop scrolling, and pay attention to your ad. When you do things like this, you can ensure that you are helping clients with what they truly need in the same industry that you are an expert in. So a couple ways for you to effectively do this strategy is number 1, interview past clients and potential clients that you have. And number 2, use a poll to identify the top 3 pain points and ideal clients in your industry. So the second strategy to center your business around your clients instead of yourself is to prioritize effectiveness over convenience. Many coaches make the mistake of only thinking about the problem that they're solving for their client. But that's not where you want to stop where you are building out a product. You also want to ask yourself, what is the best way to deliver that result to your client? Most coaches like to deliver their product in a way that is convenient for them. And the problem with that is that sometimes what's convenient for you is not effective for your client. For example, let's say that you are a very shy and introverted person. Because of this, you decide that you want to deliver your solution through an online course. An online course is convenient for you because it's pre-recorded, so you don't have to worry about talking to people, and it's also self-paced, so it will be passive income. When you do things like this, you are centering your business around yourself instead of your client. You have to take things a step further, and you have to ask yourself, let's go back to this example, will this course be effective for my client? If you were to look outside of your own needs and your own conveniences, then you would see that the answer would be no. The answer would be no because as your client goes through this course, they're going to have questions and they don't have a way to access you. Also, they need accountability and they need community to actually motivate them to go through this course, not only finish the course, but actually implement the wisdom and the knowledge that they learned. So in that scenario, it may be inconvenient for you to push past your shyness and talk to people, but that is something that is needed for your client to actually get a result. See, sometimes in our coaching business, when we produce products that don't work, we make the mistake of just scrapping the product altogether and saying that it's just a waste and it's not good. But sometimes we have to look at the way that we package that product, and we have to ask ourselves, is the way that I'm delivering this product effective enough to get my client a result? Could it be that the problem is not the product, but the problem is the delivery? So to utilize strategy number 2, you have to ask yourself, how does my ideal client best get results? You can play around with different models and delivery styles and see which ones are more effective for your ideal client. And you must also find ways to deliver the solution around the transformation and not your personality. Now, strategy number 3 to center your business around your client instead of yourself is to include your client every step of the way. In order to center your business around your client and even do strategies number 1 and number 2 that we talked about in this episode, you have to talk to your clients and include them in the process of your building. You won't understand what problems they have or why they're struggling to achieve things until you actually talk to them and observe them. The best businesses and most successful businesses are people who learn their audience, because once you learn your audience, then you can learn how to best serve your audience. When you do things this way, when you put your customer and your client first and you make your ultimate goal how to serve them in the best way that will fit for them, then you will be rewarded by a transaction of money. If you want to make money and be successful in your business, you have to put your client first. So the way to do strategy number 3 is to, number 1, host a monthly feedback Q&A or a survey. Number 2, DM your clients to collect data and feedback from them. Or number 3, show the process of you building out your products on social media and get their input of what they think about it. So as we wrap up this episode, I want you to remember that your ultimate goal is to do what's in the best interest of your client. I understand that you have problems, you have needs, and you have goals that you would like to solve for yourself. And it's also okay to think about those things as well. But your ultimate goal should be to satisfy your clients. You have to understand that when you build a business for your clients, it will ultimately bless you. Let's go back to the example of you being a shy, introverted person who created a self-paced course for your client. If you did that and then you realize that your customer actually needs support and accountability to effectively get this result, and you changed your self-paced course to an 8-week coaching program, guess what? You can charge more for an 8-week coaching program than you would for a self-paced course. So although you're serving your client, you making the decision to switch up the delivery of it is actually benefiting you as well. Let's use an example of downgrading as well. Let's say that you started out having a coaching program, but after observing your clients, you realize that you can actually downgrade and turn that coaching program into a book. Well, just because you're downgrading and a book costs way less than a coaching program, if that book is delivering a result more effectively, you can ultimately get more sales coming in from that book than you were getting from that coaching program, still making you more money. The more you serve people, the more your business and God will serve you in return. Stop assuming and start asking. Stop packaging for convenience and start delivering for change. And most importantly, remember that value is not created in isolation. It is co-created with the help of your audience. And so before we end, I want to give you an action step so that you can actually utilize this information and complete it sometime this week. Sometime this week, I want you to take 20 minutes to talk to someone who fits your ideal customer. Ask them what they are struggling with, then look at your offer and ask, does this actually solve that problem, or does it just reflect something that I wanted to create? If you notice that your offer is more suited for you than your client, then I want you to make one change to your offer based on the feedback that you got from your client. And once you do that, watch how you start to connect with your clients and get more sales differently. But that is all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, make sure that you subscribe so that you get notifications when we release new episodes. And I will see you next week.